Welcome back to the Passport Pals podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Olivia.
And we're the Passport Pals.
Well, everyone, we've made it to Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I hope your week went well. How did your week go?
I'm pretty good overall.
Yeah.
Nothing to complain about. What about you?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah. We hope you can't complain either. You made it to Friday. That's what matters.
Yeah.
But
let's get right into it. Mm-hmm. We're recapping our trip on the Independence of the Seas. So we did a 4-day cruise to Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and it left out of Miami. Now, this was a unique cruise because something crazy was happening.
yes, this was a hurricane cruise.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, so we found out that Hurricane Helene was on her way towards us, but not towards us.
Yeah, Hurricane Helene hit the west coast of Florida, and we were leaving out of Miami, so the east coast of Florida. So a hurricane was still hitting the state, but just not really where we were.
Yes, so the cruise was non-refundable, which means we were getting on it, baby.
We were getting on, and that we did. So it impacted our cruise a bit. We'll get into that in a little bit. But getting down to the cruise, we took the Bright Line, so the train between Orlando and Miami, which is always a good time. We love the Bright Line.
Yes.
Again, it can be pricey sometimes, but it's definitely worth it if you can get a good rate.
Which we didn't.
No, we didn't, but...
It was not a good rate. It was muy expensivo. But just for the convenience, we were actually traveling with my family as well, and... convenience is important when traveling with, your family. And so we chose the convenient way, which was fine.
Yeah.
We thrived.
Always a good time.
We enjoyed it.
Then we made it down to Miami. We took an Uber from the Brightline station to the port. And it's like literally a mile away from the Brightline station. 5-10 minute ride at most.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
And then we arrived to the port.
We dropped our bags.
Boarding was really easy. It took like 20 minutes total from outside to getting on the ship.
Yeah, we actually got spoiled rotten because we were walking into the port and a member of my family has some mobility issues and we didn't know that there were like wheelchairs that were available. And some random man like stopped us and he was like, come here. And he was just like, sit down. And he like blew us through everything. He took us straight to the point that we needed to be at, which was fantastic and phenomenal because we didn't even know that was an option.
Another wish we had known. We always find the wish we had knowns in the wrong episode.
That's true. Maybe we'll mention it again.
But wish we had known. There is wheelchair service available at almost every cruise port. I'm not going to say all because I don't know for sure, but I'd say almost every cruise port has a wheelchair accessible service.
He was fantastic. So kind. So like he was speedy.
Yeah.
He was quick. So
because that walk can be a lot sometimes.
It can, especially with mobility issues. So we were so appreciative. Tip your people who help you.
Yes.
But yeah, he got us right to the point where we needed to be at to check in and do all of our documents. And he did all of our documents right then and there, like our passport check-in. And he was phenomenal. Shout out to George.
Yeah, very
We love
efficient.
you, George. So yeah, super efficient check-in. We were kind of spoiled there.
But the line didn't look too long otherwise. We did get to skirt the line because we had the accessible like way, but it didn't look too long.
No,
overall.
it didn't. You got patted down at security.
It did?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I mean...
Oh, because I did... So I travel with a gimbal to like shoot some like steady shots and it does get flagged in security a lot of the time.
But they kept us there for like... 10 minutes to check him and pat him down.
Yeah, that was probably the bulk of the time boarding took.
I really didn't expect that. I mean, like, oftentimes it'll get flagged, but they're usually just like, they go through his bag really quickly and they're like, oh, it's a gimbal, we're good. But they were like patting him down. So we did that. And then...
we made it on...
he took us all the way on board, I think.
Oh, yeah. He pushed us to our muster station and everything.
Yes. Yeah. It was kind of crazy.
Well, no. So The man from the port transitioned to a Royal Caribbean worker.
Oh.
So then,
But
right before we got
did.
on,
They took us all the way to our
Yeah.
muster. So right when we got on, we went straight to our muster because they said, like, let's just get it done while you're in the wheelchair.
and Royal Caribbean does the e-muster, so you just have to scan your card, and that's it.
So we did that. And then we went to eat.
Yes, we went up to the Windjammer buffet to eat. A boarding day staple in the Windjammer always is pork schnitzel. I love it. I always pile my plate high. It is so good. I'm sure they have it on other days, but I always see it on boarding day, and it's not there every day, so I always get a lot of that.
That's very true.
But yeah, lunch was good, I think.
I like the independence of the Sea Windjammer. I think that it's
got a good layout.
It does. It really does. And the seating is really nice because there's like big windows.
Yeah. And there's a lot of seating. It was crazy, of course, because it was boarding day, and they have the little stations broken up, so it kind of breaks people up.
Yeah, which, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was still a little insane and super busy. And yeah, it was hard to get much of anywhere. But the seating is really nice in there, and you can almost always find somewhere to sit.
Yeah. And while we were eating, we started to see Helene come in. The skies were gray. The rain opened up.
Yeah, that's
And
really when we noticed. We were on
like,
the bright line. We were like,
oh, there's no hurricane.
It is bright and shiny out. We're having a great day. And then I feel like the minute we sat down for lunch, the skies opened up. Yeah. That was a really good sound effect.
Yeah, it was crazy. So the skies opened up.
You could see the ocean was getting real rocky too.
Yeah.
I was like,
kinda crazy.
are we leaving tonight?
It looked crazy.
Yeah.
Then we finished lunch. We went and checked out our rooms. We had an inside room.
My family members had a balcony. Was it an accessible balcony?
No, but it was a spacious ocean view balcony.
Which it was a really, really nice room.
The spacious aspect, it's a little longer, so the bathroom was a bit bigger. And we compared it to our bathroom. It
was bigger.
It was bigger.
Yes.
There was a lot of space in there, a nice big couch. So spacious ocean view balcony category. It's definitely worth the upgrade. It's typically not more. But they did a guarantee cabin, and they just got assigned that one. So.
Yeah, so we got kind of lucky. But yes, our interior, I feel like the interior Independence of the Seas, our first interior Independence of the Seas we ever had
We had an accessible one.
Yes, but we were given that. We didn't like request that.
Don't choose that if you don't need it.
Yes,
someone
please
needs
don't.
It.
But we just got randomly assigned that. And that was living in the lap of
was
luxury.
really big and
Let me
nice.
tell you.
But our inside I think was fine too. It had a lot of storage, decent size, not huge by any means, but
it fit the bill. We had what we needed.
I will say the cabins on Independence of the Seas kind of do show their age.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
a bit dated. The hallways are like pink and old looking. So that she does show her age there. She's 17 years old. So
I would guess older.
Yeah, that she is starting to show her age a bit, but she still has a lot to offer.
Anytime I've ever been on Independence of the Seas, we've only ever been in an inside cabin on Independence of the Seas, but I feel like every time we've been in one, I'm always like, this is like what those like scary motels look like in the movies. Like where you're like, should we be staying here?
Yeah, the decor is very dated. I'll
Yes.
give him that. But yeah, then we went around, explored the ship, and then it was time for sail away and another hurricane cruise thing. They moved the sail away inside to the promenade.
Yes. So it was actually not bad.
No, I was worried. I was like, oh, this is going to be terrible. But it was pretty fun. The energy was good. The entertainment staff, the crew staff, whatever, leading the party. It was fun.
There was a conga line we
Yes.
joined. That was really fun. Like all throughout the promenade it took you. But Royal, I feel like, does their sail away really well. They have some good music, some lively atmosphere. Every time we've had a good cruise director who pumps up the party.
So the hurricane sail away actually wasn't too bad. And then we just went and explored the ship a bit.
Oh, we got our drinks, our drink cups.
We had the soda package. So on Royal Caribbean, you do get a specialty cup to use at the freestyle machine. So we picked those up. Hot take, I'm not a fan of the freestyle machines.
Yeah, so you're not a fan of freestyle machines
At
anywhere
all,
though.
yeah.
So what about specifically, like, I know you're not a fan of the freestyle machines specifically, but what about like the way that it works with the cup and the freestyle machine?
I mean, I don't mind it like on the cruise, and there's all the fun flavors and they have stations. I wish they had more freestyle stations probably, but I mean...
That was kind of where I was getting, because I don't mind a freestyle machine. I like having the variety, especially if you're on like a longer cruise. I appreciate being able to say like, oh, I want a peach Sprite today. Like, hello. But there are not enough.
Yeah,
and frequently you'll end up like walking around with your cup being like, I guess we have to go to the Promenade or Sorrento's, which are literally in the same place. So
yeah, there's like one station on the Promenade and then there's one station in the buffet and that's it.
Yeah, and it's just not super convenient when you have the cup.
Yeah, and I feel like it would be easy to add more. I don't know, but they should.
And the cups are not very big.
No.
Like
They've gotten smaller over the years too.
Yes, like they're like double insulated. So the actual inside, which if you know anything about double insulated cup, the inside is thinner than the outside of the cup. You're not getting that much drink when you're filling it up. By the time we walk out of the Promenade, I'm like, all right, I need a refill. I'm ready to go. So that is my one gripe with the way that Royal does their drink packages. I wish I could just walk up to a pool bar and be like, soda, please.
No, you still can.
But I want it in my cute cup.
See,
like, what's the point of the cup?
I don't like having to carry it around. I don't want it in the fun cup.
Oh, I like using the fun cup.
It's fun sometimes.
And I like that they're all different.
That's true, yeah.
Depending on your sailing. Yeah. I want a blue one this time. Yeah, I like the cup, but that's true. Carrying it around does get exhausting sometimes. Yeah. Like, oh my God, I gotta lug this thing upstairs now. And
then if you leave it somewhere in the...
People leave them everywhere all the time. So if you lose your cup, don't lose your cup. Nonetheless.
But then we got our soda, explored the ship around, and then they made an announcement. We didn't hear it right when it happened. We're like, what are they saying? I don't know. We're on the helipad.
True, yeah. We went up to the helipad, and then that's when they said everything.
So we're like, oh, we can't hear it. It must not be bad.
It was bad. Spoiler alert.
So we finally finished exploring, went back to the room, and there was a paper that said what the announcement said.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're not leaving tonight. Yeah, so this was our big impact of the hurricane cruise. So we were supposed to leave that night and then be at Coco Cay the next day.
Yes.
And it got completely switched. We were staying in Miami overnight, and then Coco Cay got moved to the last day. So we were going to have 2 sea days and then Coco Cay at the end. Which... it was interesting. It wasn't bad.
I feel like I kind of ended up liking it better.
Oh, why?
To be honest with you. I don't know. I think it was a really good way to like have one last hurrah on the trip, I guess. Being on an island your last day. I liked the switcheroo because I feel like sometimes when you have like a sea day, a place, and a sea day, your sea day kind of gets ruined with like post-cruise blues. Like, oh, I'm going to pack my bag now and I'm going to... and we gotta get ready to go to bed early, and like I feel like a sea day on your last day of your cruise is not as fun as being somewhere. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know.
So yeah, I did enjoy having the private island day on the last day. You're right, it was a good hurrah. Now my one gripe with the changing of the itinerary, we were staying in port overnight, is that the casino was closed the whole first day. And if you know anything about me, I love the casino. A whole 4-day cruise, I only have 3 days of gambling now. How terrible.
How terrible. How terrible. Which one might say is better. Because then you didn't lose any money on the first day.
I wanted to lose money.
It's a sickness.
It is.
But it's okay. That's what you do on a cruise.
But also, not only that, the shops were closed too. So if you like to go shopping, the shops and the casino were closed because when you're in port, they're always closed.
Yeah.
So those were both closed. But other than that, staying overnight in Miami didn't really affect anything. And it was cool to like see Miami at night.
Yeah, the skyline was really pretty and all of that good stuff. So we found out the sad news, and then we went to the show.
We went to the ice skating show.
Yes.
I think the ice skating shows on Royal Caribbean are some of the best entertainment on a cruise ship ever.
Yeah, they're really, really good.
But I don't know, they always get me. It always it's like tear jerking almost. It's like, wow, they're like really good.
That's true. Now, Royal Caribbean, give these professional ice skaters a bigger rink.
Well, on the Icon and the Star of the Seas, they have the largest ice skating rinks at sea, and they're a circular shape rather than a rectangle.
Thank God. Finally, someone used their brain, I guess. I don't know, because if you've seen these ice skating rinks, insert photo here, they're... Now, mind you, I have literally never stepped foot on an ice skating rink. I will never step foot on an ice skating rink. I have no concept of ice skating, except I'm a professional ice skating watcher. And with that, I feel I am qualified to say they struggle in this tiny contain. No. Don't get me wrong. Incredibly talented people. Fantastic. Incredibly talented. I literally could never do that. What they do on that ice, insane. But I feel like I would be able to appreciate their skills more if they are given proper space to show their skills.
I can see that. It is really, it's almost even
tiny.
more impressive that they can do what they do because it's on such a small
Yeah, it's
rink.
incredibly impressive, but I just feel like do them the justice of, letting them showcase their skills in the right way. Because although it's very impressive and although they're very, fantastic and incredible at what they do, the ice skating rink is so small and it gets so, chopped up that oftentimes at the end of the shows they end up falling a lot or making mistakes, which at the same time is also kind of dangerous in my humble opinion. That is my one gripe with the smaller Royal Caribbean ice skating rinks, because I'm by the end of it I'm like, oh my god, they shouldn't be up there, they shouldn't be doing this, just because I feel like it's too small. It's too tiny. Let them showcase their talent, which they do. Like I said, they're still very talented people, but I don't know. If you're a Royal Caribbean ice skater and you're listening, can you tell me, is it hard? Do you guys get stressed? I would get stressed. But anyways.
But yeah, we saw the ice skating show. It was phenomenal. And then, after the ice skating show, we went to dinner in the main dining room. It was good. Again, dinner on Royal Caribbean's pretty mid overall, but I mean, it gets the job done.
I was so bummed. They stuck us in this corner right next to the kitchen, next to this table of a family of
20 people.
So many, which is fine. Bring your whole family on a cruise, have a blast. I don't care what you do. But they were so incredibly rude to the staff that it was getting hard to watch. They were moving tables, yelling across the whole dining room. Because I guess they were sat at one big table and then part of their family was sat at another table, which, trust and believe, if that happened to me, I probably would have had a problem with it too. But I would have just politely asked to be moved. Somehow can we figure this out to where I can be with my family, or just swap seats out each and every night and be you can sit with them tonight, I'm gonna sit over there tonight. We'd figure it out, but in a respectful way. They were being deliberately unkind to the staff, and it was just getting unreasonable to sit there and let happen. So that I was just furious, and every single night it was something. These people, we would come in and they had done something to the dining room, and I'd be like, where's my table? And then the dining room staff would be like, oh my god, we're so sorry. And they'd have to bring back our chairs because these people were being so rude. It was kind of unbelievable.
Yeah.
There was just no etiquette, no respect for the crew or the people around them. And they were yelling literally all night, which again, literally bring your whole family on a cruise, have a blast. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're rowdy. I don't care if you're fun, but yelling across the main dining room is crazy work. It's crazy work. And we were listening to their family drama too. At one point, one of their family members was like, come take a picture of us. And the lady was like, I'm eating, girl. It was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, that was, I feel the hardest part about the main dining room, is just having to listen to these people be so rude to their staff and the waiters.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, they're working as hard as they can. Be nice to them. But yeah, we ate dinner. It was good. You had an affliction with the bread this cruise, though.
But specifically the butter. I don't know. I'll see if I can find the picture of the butter, because I took a picture because I wanted to remember this butter. I'll put it on the screen. The butter was so good. It was salty. It was creamy. It was smooth. I literally had 7 rolls each dinner. Not exaggerating.
My family,
the butter
too.
was so good. I don't... Chef's kiss.
Yeah, you and my family were going in on those rolls.
So
yeah.
Oh my God, I'm still dreaming. That was 6 months ago at this point, but I'm still dreaming.
Royal Caribbean does their
butter.
Bread really well, but for some reason, these were just the best.
It was. And the soft cheese roll is my favorite in the bread basket. If you know, you know.
It is really good.
Oh, it's just so good. I want to go on a Royal Caribbean cruise tomorrow just for the bread. It is so good. But then After dinner, we pretty much just had a low-key night. It was a long day. The casino was closed, so it's like, what else is there to do?
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't a lot happening, I don't think, the first night.
So yeah, after dinner, there wasn't really anything happening that piqued our interest, and we were just kind of tired. It was a long day, a long hurricane day, and we just decided to head to bed decently early. We went up and appreciated the Miami skyline again because we were docked overnight in Miami, but that's pretty much the first day.
We love sailing out of Miami at night. I think the first time we did was on Virgin Voyages. No.
MSC Magnifica.
Yes, that's the first time we sailed out of Miami at night, and I was like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
It was incredible.
So if you ever are lucky enough to be sailing out of Miami at nighttime, it's a beautiful view.
And typically in the winter time, it happens more frequently because it gets dark early. So that's a tip. If you want to sail out of Miami at night, go in the winter. But then day 2 was a sea day. We got up, had breakfast in the buffet, which I was impressed with the breakfast buffet. Busy.
Breakfast in the buffet is never my first choice. No. It's just, like, I feel like people act like they've never eaten before at breakfast in the buffet. Lunch is like, all right, it's busy. But, like, breakfast, people be throwing elbows for those sausage links, baby. The bacon, don't even attempt it. Because literally throwing elbows. People are crazy.
Yeah.
At breakfast in the buffet, hash browns, forget about it. You're not getting one. Sorry. You're not. It's chaos in there every single time. No matter what cruise line you're on. This is not Royal Caribbean that I'm just talking about. Like, every single cruise line I've ever been on, people act like they've never eaten before in their lives at breakfast.
Everybody's cranky. It's the morning.
Yeah, everyone's mean. Like, okay, someone got up on the wrong side of the bed. Yeah, it was chaotic that morning.
Yeah.
But we got breakfast.
And then we pretty much just spent the whole day out by the pool. Now, because since this was a hurricane cruise, we were worried that we weren't going to be able to enjoy the pool and lay out. But we were lucky because the hurricane, again, was like on the other side.
Yeah, I feel like by the time we got up the next morning, sunny skies.
Bright and sunny. So yeah, the only hurricane delay we had was day 1. But after that, pretty good weather the whole rest of the cruise. So we, laid out by the pool, and then we went to the Love and Marriage show. So I love the Love and Marriage game show on a cruise. Now, on this cruise, it was weird. It was at like 2 p.m.
Yeah, it was a little peculiar.
And it didn't have the full crowd, again, because it was at 2 p.m.
I feel like what makes the Love and Marriage game show is the crowd.
Yeah.
So that was a little unfortunate because part of the Love and Marriage game show, if you've never been, is they bring up like 3 separate couples, one newlywed, one who's been married however many, like, middle amount of years, and then one who's been married the longest in the room. And then they ask them a variety of questions, and you get some fun, raunchy answers sometimes, and they ask them some crazy stuff, and sometimes, like, they'll say, like, oh, when did you first start dating, or how did you first meet, or whatever. And when you get to the older couples, they, like, have differing answers, and it gets funny, but the crowd is what makes it funny, because people are reacting and hooting and hollering and having a lot of fun with it. But when the crowd isn't there to react and hoot and holler, it's just listening to people answer questions, and you're like,
okay.
So
yeah, it definitely wasn't the best Love and Marriage show, and I was bummed that they had it in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, but it was still fun.
It was. And then we went back up to the pool. We missed lunch somehow because of the Love and Marriage show. We didn't eat earlier, and then the buffet was closed, and it was just a whole ordeal by the time we were ready to eat.
I really don't know how. I feel like more frequently on cruises we miss meals.
Yeah.
Who is doing that, and why? Why are we doing that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I'm gonna start setting an alarm. The buffet is open and we're going. Like now, today, immediately.
So we missed lunch. We could have had pizza, but we were just not in the mood because we wanted to hang out by the pool. So we just laid out by the pool, sunbathed. We did the water slides.
Did you end up doing the flow rider this day?
No, we never did the flow rider.
I mean, I certainly did not do the flow rider. But you never did it this cruise? Oh, man. Yeah. Josh is pretty slay at the flow rider.
I used to be.
Insert photo here.
I used to be. It's been a few years, so
no, he's pretty good at it.
I'm not good at it anymore, but just spent the day at the pool and then ended their day at the pool with a movie by the pool, which I really enjoyed. They were playing movies by the pool all day.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and by the end of the afternoon, the pool kind of dies out, so there's not that many crowds. Like 4 or 5 o'clock, we got to enjoy a movie. The sun was like starting to set, but not really. It was just a perfect time.
I feel like that is one of the good things about being an adult on a cruise where there's a lot of families, is a lot of families are eating earlier and putting kids to bed earlier. So you're getting around 5 or 6 o'clock, people are eating dinner and getting ready for bed. But
I'm still at the pool.
Yeah, exactly. Like, our dinner's not till 8, baby. We got a full 3 hours to enjoy this pool. So once it kind of thins out, it's really nice to just kind of lounge and enjoy the movie, finish off a drink, and get ready for dinner. But that's what we did. We watched Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah, there was some new Ghostbusters. I don't know, the most recent one, like Frozen World or something. I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I was reading, but
I had a good time. And I'd say overall, so we spent the whole day at the pool pretty much, and it was crowded at times, but we always found a spot in the pool. We always found a chair, even if it wasn't our ideal spot in the pool or if the pool was a bit crowded. I'd say we still were able to find spots all day.
I was going to say, there was one point where we were on the second deck, you know, where you're like, open, and we were like pressed up against one of the casitas, and I was like, this is really awkward. Like, this person paid for like this exclusive cabana, and I'm like,
I'm still here.
like spraying my sunscreen right next to them. Like, I just felt awkward.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they shouldn't pile chairs on top of the casitas. I do feel like that's one reason that I wouldn't do a casita, because if I'm paying for like, and they're not cheap, for like an exclusive cabana experience, but someone's right next to me, and like, you never know what you're gonna get. People could be blasting their music, people could be smoking when they're not supposed to be. Like, you never know what you're gonna get, which you could get with a seat, but at least that's free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'd do a casita just because, again, we always found chairs, but we had to do some rounds and struggle to find a seat. So it would be nice to just have a seat all day where you don't have to think about it. But again, it is pricey, so we haven't done one yet for a reason. But
Yeah.
I do see the appeal.
Yeah.
And why people would want it.
We'll have to try one out soon.
Yeah, it
See
is
what it's all
cheaper
about.
on a port day. So maybe if I'm not the biggest proponent of this, but I know you love staying on the ship in Nassau. So if we do a cheap cruise to Nassau, maybe on a ship with casitas, because it is like half the price on a port day. So maybe we'll do it then.
Maybe. Oh, something to think about.
But yeah, so overall, great day at the pool. It was nice when it thinned out.
So once we were done with the pool, we went back to our rooms, got ready for dinner, which tonight was Italian night, which is always a fan favorite on
Yeah.
Royal. We do like the Italian food that they have on board.
And that is a note. They do change the theme of the menu each night on Royal Caribbean, which is kind of fun. Like, they have a French night, Italian night, a Caribbean night. So it is something to look forward to, that each night's menu is a different theme.
They sang to us.
Yeah, all the waiters were wearing like fun Italian like shirts or something, and they sang to us.
Yeah,
like
it was
an
so
Italian
cute.
opera. It was cool.
It was really cute. And we were like, oh, it was just fun.
It was fun. The energy was electric in the room.
Ooh, that's a fun way to describe it.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that.
And dinner was good. I love the arancini.
Yes.
On Italian night. Had some more bread and butter, of course. I was obsessed.
And then that night was the 70s party.
Which is a big thing on Royal Caribbean. It's one of their big premiere parties in the promenade. We just weren't feeling a party vibe. We were just tired on this cruise, I guess, for some reason. I don't know. We weren't party vibe the whole cruise.
I don't know. We popped in and we were like,
okay.
not for us, I don't think. Which,
yeah.
I mean, 70s night is fun, but it's like, I feel like there's only so much 70s music you can listen to without being like, all right. You know what I mean? Like, I can only boogie for so long.
We typically enjoy the 70s party, but I just wasn't in the mood, I guess.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem like fun.
Yeah, we just weren't
and
in
we've
the
done
mood.
it before, so.
But.
Oh, my favorite
We made up
moment
for
came because like I said, the casino was closed the first day, but I finally got my time and it was fun. I found a new game. I forget even what it's called. Something like zombies or something. I don't know. I found a new game. We made friends with people at that game. So I don't know. It was fun. Enjoyed the casino. I did really well in the casino. that night, I think.
I don't even remember.
I did. And then I gave it all back, but I did pretty well. It was fun.
I think my family gambled a little bit that night too,
Yeah.
which we're not huge gamblers, but went on a cruise, you know?
Yeah, it's fun. But that was pretty much it for day 2.
Day 3
Another
was...
sea day. 2 sea days back to back. Again, with the rearrangement of the itinerary, it was kind of nice.
It kind of slayed, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It was nice to feel like you weren't in a rush to get anywhere or do anything.
Yeah.
So like we said before, my family was actually in a balcony stateroom. So we had placed our order for breakfast the night before to get delivered to our room that morning, which was incredible.
It was. And continental breakfast is free on Royal Caribbean. So just fill out the thing. It's like pastries, nothing like hot breakfast. That has a fee to it. But you can get free breakfast as much as you want continental breakfast delivered to your room every morning, which is really cool.
We got like a variety of some juice, some fruits, some
pastries. Yeah,
I
coffee.
think I got like oatmeal or something. It was lovely. It was a beautiful view.
Yeah.
Really good food. Yeah, we
it was
had a great
incredible.
time.
Definitely recommend, especially if you have the balcony. It was just so
Yeah, it was just nice to start our morning like
not in the chaotic
not in the
buffet.
chaos of breakfast. Yeah, and I didn't feel like I was missing out on any food. Like
Yeah.
a pastry and a coffee and a piece of fruit was enough for me.
Yeah.
I think breakfast on the balcony was a really good choice.
It was a really good idea. But then we pretty much spent the entire second sea day at the pool, which we're big pool people. So I know not everybody likes to lay out by the pool on a cruise, but that's our thing.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing it. I think sometimes I'm not a huge pool person because they can get really crowded.
But it wasn't bad, which I was surprised at.
Well, the weather was beautiful, I think, because of the hurricane. The hurricane brought some really nice, like, weather. So it wasn't sweltering, which I think sometimes if it's sweltering, you have to be getting in and out of the pool to survive it.
Yeah.
But with the weather being so nice, it was nice to just lounge out by this in the sun.
Yeah.
But they had the belly flop competition.
Which is another fan favorite on Royal Caribbean. It's always fun to watch.
Yeah, it was entertaining. We
Yeah.
just stood around and watched that for a little bit. But we were not missing lunch today.
No, we were not. We made sure to find out the buffet times and not miss it.
Yes, so we went and had lunch.
And we did bring it back to the balcony again because we enjoyed our breakfast so much and just didn't want to deal with people. We took it to go from the buffet.
Which was lovely to eat, but very difficult to get it there. There were 4 of us eating and like multiple plates per person. So carrying it back to the room with like stacks of plates was
Yeah.
a little bit difficult. But
It was very
but
difficult.
worth it, I
Yeah.
think. But maybe in the future I'd just do room service.
Yeah. But then after lunch, we went back up to the pool and just, spent the rest of the day just hanging out up there.
Yeah, we weren't very...
This was a very chill cruise overall. We didn't do much of anything, but it was very relaxing.
It
and
was
very
necessary.
Much needed. Yeah.
We had all been going. My family, me, you. Like,
Yeah.
I think we just needed a few days of like chill.
And that's why I think cruising is one of the best forms of vacation, because you're on this vessel that you can just chill. Or if we wanted to do a million things, there were a million things to be done.
Yeah, we could have been going. We just weren't interested.
Yeah. So it was very nice to just chill out.
Yeah, we were pretty boring this trip because then we got ready for dinner, which it was French night.
Yeah, the food was good. French onion soup, beef tenderloin. It was all delicious.
And then we went to the casino.
Of course, my favorite nighttime activity on a cruise ship. Went to the casino, spent a lot of money, and that was
Went
pretty
to bed.
much it.
We went to bed.
But it was a wonderful day.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. And we were ready for a jam-packed morning the next day to go.
So last day, day 4, we were at Perfect Day at Coco Cay, Royal Caribbean's private island.
Now, their private island has, well, for now, the largest pool in the Caribbean.
Oh, yes. But very shortly, Carnival is taking that title.
Yes, but if you've ever been to Perfect Day, do you start at the pool or at the beach?
Yes, let us know in the comments, because this is a big debate, and I don't even know what the right answer is.
This is like when you go to Epcot and people are like, do you start in Mexico or Canada? There's only one right answer, except there's definitely not, because people are all different and do different things. But beach or pool? Do you start one place? Do you stay one place the whole day? We, I think, have always done both.
Yes.
Like we've gone to pool and beach.
And I do really like the pool at Coco Cay.
Yeah, it's nice.
But this time we did beach first.
We did.
And we were able to get chairs right front row. So going straight there, if you want a nice front chair right by the ocean, maybe go to the beach first.
Yeah, and we stayed there for quite a while.
We did. We spent the whole morning until lunch there.
Yeah, we were having a blast too. We brought goggles. We were swimming. We saw some cool sea life, and we swam out to the different
like floating platforms.
The platforms, and we just kind of hung out on one for like 30 minutes. We just hung out in the middle of the ocean.
But so the private island is pretty big, and there's a lot to do. A few different places you can go, both included and not included. Our beach we chose was the Chill Island Beach, which I think it's one of my preferred beaches. I feel like I haven't spent enough time at Coco Cay to like that be my definitive answer, but I did really enjoy Chill Island where we went.
Hopefully we can try Hideaway soon.
Yeah.
I really want to see what that's all about, because part of me thinks I won't like it, to be honest with you. Yeah. But I guess you'll never know until you try. But something to look forward to doing. But we do enjoy the beach that we chose.
And then we went to lunch. I love the food at Coco Cay. That might be my favorite part of Coco Cay is the lunch buffet. I think the food is incredible, especially the tacos. Oh my God.
Yes.
It is just so good. I don't understand why it's so good.
Yeah, I think I made 3 plates. I'm not even gonna lie. I literally think I went back 3 times for more food.
Yeah, but there's not just tacos. There's burgers, hot dogs, a taco stand. There's a sandwich space. There's a fruit. There's salad. There's a lot of options.
There's definitely so many options, but if you don't get a taco, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God, it's so good.
Fresh tortillas. They like press them and there's a machine it's so good.
It's fantastic. The
and
food
then they
is
have brownies
fantastic.
and cookies and ice cream for just...
Oh my God, we have to go back.
The food at Coco Cay is superior.
It really is.
And they have 2 buffets, and there's multiple stations at each buffet, so very spread out. We never felt on top of, unlike on the ship.
Oh yeah, no, it's so spread out. There's no huge lines. There's nobody's like throwing elbows.
No,
like
and there's
everyone's gonna
plenty
get
of
their
seating.
fix.
So yeah, lunch on Coco Cay superior, 10 out of 10. Yeah. I love it.
It is fantastic food on the island.
Yeah.
But after that, the pool is like right next to one of the buffets.
Yeah.
Which is really convenient. So we moseyed on over.
Transitioned. We found lounge chairs. We were able to get chairs in the pool. They have some chairs in the pool.
Yes.
So again, going midday, we were still able to find some spots and enjoy the pool.
Super fun fact about Royal Caribbean's pool.
Ooh.
The music plays underwater. So when you're swimming, you can be jamming.
Yeah. And they do have a DJ there, like starting midday, so it's really fun.
And they have the in-pool bars, which are really nice.
Cool. Yeah.
The swim-up bars. And yeah, we just hung out. You got a drink. We swam the whole pool. We like went in the big circle, which was fun. It was nice. Yeah. We played handstand contest with some random people. We were like handstand contesting, and these girls were like, "Can we go? Like, can we do it with you?" And I was like, "Literally, absolutely. Hello." So we had a handstand contest.
And yeah, there was 2 ships in port. Again, there's typically always 2 ships in port when you're at Coco Cay these days. I didn't think it felt too crowded. I was worried.
I was concerned.
And
what ship were we with?
Utopia of the Seas, the 2nd largest cruise ship in the world. So we were like, oh, this is going to be terrible. But
it really wasn't.
It really wasn't. We always found a chair. Nothing was overcrowded. Lunch, again, like we said, wasn't bad. So I think the island does a really good job at spreading people out.
Absolutely. I agree. I think I was really worried. I was like, we have to get up at 7 a.m. We have to be the first people off the ship. We have to get a seat at the beach. We have to, which we definitely didn't. Like there were some roadblocks. My family wasn't ready to go. Like we took our time getting off the ship. I don't even think we got off until like 9:30
even. Yeah. It was late.
But we still found seating and we still had a great day.
Yeah. Yeah, even like 2 hours after we got to the beach, there were still plenty of chairs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think Royal has a really good way of doing that, too, in terms of like the adults only section. Now they have the hideaway that you pay extra for. Now they have like all these different areas.
The Coco Beach Club. There's the water park you can do. There's the pool, multiple different beaches. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think they do a really good job of that. So it definitely didn't feel overcrowded, which I was really worried about.
Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much it. We ended the day at the pool, and then unfortunately had to get back on the ship.
We didn't consider doing the water park just because you know how I feel about water slides. But also that just wasn't the vibe we were going for.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll do it eventually. You've done it before.
I've done it. Now, I did it like right after cruising started after COVID, so it was dead. I pretty much had the water park to myself, so I loved it. I don't know how I'd feel about the water park if I was waiting in lines and it was busy packed, so we'll have to do an updated review. But when I enjoyed the empty water park practically, it was pretty cool.
Good point.
But then it was unfortunately time to get back on the ship. We got back on board. We got some pizza from Sorrento's and just chilled for a bit.
We brought it back to the balcony, just hung out for a little bit. But then I believe we got ready for dinner. Just the evening, not just dinner, but we got ready for the evening, which we went and saw Greece.
That's a fun thing they have on board Independence of the Seas.
Yes, and we were sitting in like the third row, and right directly in front of us was, what's his name?
Super Mario. If you know, he's a Royal Caribbean legend. He's been like on the most Royal Caribbean cruises ever. He's retired and just lives on Royal Caribbean ships now.
He's so cool. I want to be like him when I grow up. But yeah, he was sitting right in front of us, and we were like, and his dog or his friend's
Somebody
dog,
he was with had a French bulldog. It was the cutest thing
so
ever.
cute, and it kept looking at us, and it was like licking my feet under the chair, and I was like, I don't think you're supposed to be doing that, but I'm gonna let you. Yeah, cutest little dog in the world. But
Greece was really good. They were all talented.
yeah, it was a really good
Fun
production
thing they have on board.
And then we went to dinner. Dinner was once again just kind of the same thing we talked about. It was good.
Yeah. The bread was good. They did a farewell song to us. It was kind of sad because the staff in the dining room was really good.
Yeah, they were nice this trip, which I feel like they're nice every trip, but
it was like extra.
I think that they were super accommodating because of those rude people, to be honest with you. Like, I think they were overcompensating because those people were being so unkind.
Yeah.
Not just to them, to everyone around them. So, just be nice.
Yeah. So then after dinner, the 80s party was happening in the promenade. Again, on most Royal Caribbean cruises, they do a 70s and an 80s party. So those are some of their big parties they always do. Again, like we've been saying this whole cruise, we just weren't feeling party. We were on chill mode and we skipped out on the 80s party, but there's always time for the casino. So had our last hurrahs in the casino of the cruise. But then, yeah, that was pretty much our 4-night hurricane cruise on board the Independence of the Seas. Again, love the ship. We've been on it multiple times. It's cozy. It feels like home. We know what's going on. And it's just always a good time. But yeah, again, this was a hurricane cruise. And Hurricane Helene did have a big impact on a lot of different communities and states. And people are still feeling the effects of this hurricane. So we're not like, haha, we went on a hurricane cruise. Like, we didn't choose to go on a hurricane cruise. And it was already booked, so we had to go.
Yeah, we had no idea that a hurricane would have hit when we cruised, and that's a chance that you're taking during hurricane season is cruising. It's been quite a few months now, but like Josh said, people are still feeling the effects and the devastation from that hurricane. So our hearts go out to you, and they were going out to you the whole time that we were on our trip. Everyone was saying,
watching the news and like, oh my God.
Yeah, everyone was talking about it and just saying like, oh my God, we hope everyone's okay. We hope everything's okay. So not trying to be like a laugh, haha, funny, just kind of recounting our trip and the uniqueness of it. And just, again, that's a risk that you're willing to take if you're booking a trip during hurricane season in Florida.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
And again, that's why we weren't like upset with the itinerary change. Because like, it's for a reason. Like, natural disasters are like real things.
Absolutely.
That like cause some craziness. So if our cruise got delayed by a day or whatever, like, oh no.
Yeah. I think even if they told us we were not leaving Miami, we would have been okay with it just because things happen. And again, that's a risk you're taking.
Yeah.
You have to take that into consideration. So our hearts go out to anybody that was affected by Hurricane Helene. We hope that you're doing a little bit better now, but
yeah. But again, that was our trip on the Independence of the Seas. Should we get into the Wish You Were Here segment?
Let's do it.
So again, we want to hear from you guys. Visit us at passportpalspodcast.com. Leave us all your travel hot takes, crazy travel stories, just any travel opinion, and we're going to react to it here on the podcast. I'm talking to all you guys, though. Nobody has filled out our form on the website. So,
we know you're going places.
Yeah, come on. But I did ask on Instagram again, until you guys start filling out our form on our website.
And don't make it all naughty.
Yeah.
My mom watches this. My mom, his mom, My family
Yeah.
watches this.
So we'll see what we get today. I haven't.
His grandma is listening to this, and Gail would be absolutely disappointed in each and every single one of you.
So yeah, I haven't looked at the responses, but let's see what the people are saying.
If it's all naughty, I'm gonna be really mad at you guys.
Okay. So, oh my it's not naughty, but okay. So Scott says someone in the row in front of me threw up on a long flight and it splashed on my legs.
No, absolutely not.
I think I would have to eject myself.
There's no way. There's no way.
How do you clean yourself up? What if you don't have? And it's a long flight. Like, how long is long? 5 hours?
What is
9
long?
hours?
How long were you sitting there with vomit on your? No, we're not squeamish people, but I just don't think I could handle
It's
something
gotta
like
be
that.
a health violation of some
Yeah,
sort.
like, did you get sick?
And like, I feel like I saw a TikTok recently where a flight attendant was like, yeah, we had to block off the first 2 rows on the next flight because someone vomited in the one before it.
Well, yeah, because it has to be cleaned properly by like OSHA, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry that happened to you, Scott.
Yes. Sorry. If it was a 2-hour flight, I think I could like, you can't control it. Give me a wet wipe.
No
but for
way.
like 9 hours.
We were at dinner on a cruise once, and this little girl, she was walking in and she was saying like, I don't feel good, my tummy hurts, and the boat was rocking and locking.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I looked over during dinner and she had like, she was sick.
Spewing all over the floor of the steakhouse on
Yes.
Margaritaville at Sea Paradise.
Which we'll talk about more, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, and it was like
It
3
was
tables
hard.
away, not on us, and we're like, ooh, good thing our meal's almost over.
Yeah, it was rough. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you,
Yeah,
Scott.
but I cannot imagine a stranger's throw up on an airplane on my
No.
legs.
Oh my god, no way.
Okay, last one, because we don't have that many because you guys aren't submitting our forms. So this is all we got from Instagram. But Max says, hot take, staying on the ship during port days is perfectly acceptable.
I am with you.
I used to be a big port skipper hater. I think I'm coming around to it. Still not my first thought.
I forced Josh to stay on the ship during our Disney cruise. It was the first Disney cruise I had ever been on. You've been on Disney cruises. This ship specifically, I
Yeah.
think you had been on. And I forced him to stay on board. And we were in Nassau, which if you know anything about Josh, he loves Nassau.
Yeah.
And I think it was a good idea.
It was a good idea, so that was a good call. So yeah, and there's certain scenarios. Short Disney cruise, your first Disney cruise, like, okay, we don't need to. We're going to Nassau again. We're not going on a Disney cruise again. But I was still like, that was my first time ever missing a cruise port ever in my life.
Look what
But
we've
it was a
done.
good idea.
Yeah, it
And
did
I
end up
am
being
coming
fun.
around to it. I think I just have FOMO. Like, we're in the Bahamas for 8 hours. Why wouldn't I be in the Bahamas? Like, if I just wanted to enjoy the ship, shouldn't I just go to a resort?
True.
But, like, I don't know. I get it. So I'm coming around, but I still feel FOMO and want to get off.
I will skip ports. Especially if it's like something I've done before and I don't have like anything specific planned. If I'm just going to go gallivant around Nassau.
But even then, though, I'm still, like, if I just get off for an hour or two, go to the straw market, grab a drink, and go back, like, I would suffice.
That's a waste of time for me. Time and energy. That's a long walk.
It's right there.
It's not though. It's really not. Not especially not now that they've built this long and then now there's all those shops right. No. I'm with you. I am with you.
I'm coming around to it. But let us know what you guys think down in the comments. Are you okay just staying on the ship, missing a port? Do you need to get off in every port? Let us know. Are there certain ports you would skip versus not skip? Let us know. But with that is episode 7, recapping our trip on board the Independence of the Seas. We're big fans of the Independence of the Seas. We love that ship. Both been on it multiple times.
Happy Friday, friends. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Where to next?